McWay Falls is unbelievably picturesque waterfall that drops 80 feet onto the untouched sands of McWay Beach before churning in the azure Pacific. It's one of those scenes that, when you show your photos of it to friends, they won't believe it's real. But the falls are, in fact, real, and are visible after a short and easy stroll right off the Cabrillo Highway. Whether you're visiting as part of a larger planned hike further inland or just stopping to grab a few snapshots, it's worth a stop at Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park. Either pull off into one of the small, often crowded free lots off the Cabrillo Highway or pay the self-issued state park fee and use one of the larger lots inside the park, $10 at the time of writing. Either way, enter the park and look for the well-marked entry to the McWay Falls Trail, just across the road from the restrooms. It's only 0.2 miles of level trail before you pass underneath the Cabrillo Highway. There's a short side trail to a historic Pelton wheel generator from the area's homesteading days, but this was closed when I visited. Continue heading west and pass beneath the CA1 through a short tunnel. Upon emerging at the other side, you'll be greeted by the sound of crashing waves and the smell of salt in the air. Keep to the right to head on an even path with a wooden guard rail. You'll most likely see photographers lined up along this walk, and as you reach them you'll be able to turn back and see the falls in its full glory. There is no safe way to reach the beach below, but despite warning signs along the entire route, when I was there I still saw footprints in the sand below and a lone hiker trying to scramble his way back up the nearly vertical, crumbling rock wall beneath the walkway. Not only is the beach environment dangerous due to crumbling rocks and unpredictable tides and currents, but the area is very vulnerable to erosion. Fun fact: the picturesque sandy beach below the falls didn't exist until a massive 1985 landslide just north of the falls added tons of debris to the ocean waters. Odds are the currents will continue to remove the sand from this beach and the waterfall will return to emptying directly into the ocean, the same way it did before the slide. If you continue along the path, an elevated wooden boardwalk will take you to the remains of the Waterfall House, a seaside mansion built by Boston socialites Lathrop and Helen Hooper Brown in 1940. The Browns decorated their house with masterpieces by Degas and Gajan but left the property 16 years later and never returned. Helen donated the land to the state in 1961 in honor of her friend, the region's earlier homesteader Julia Pfeiffer Burns. The state couldn't find a use for the house, so they demolished it in 1966, leaving only these foundations and gardens. Enjoy the equally gorgeous views to the north and gaze at the tide rolling into McWay Cove, then return back the way you came to continue your journey along the coast or hike the park's more challenging Ewoldson Trail. McWay Falls is so shockingly beautiful that you will just want to linger at the end of the trail and watch it fall. When you are done scoping out the falls, simply walk back the way you came. For those who want to hike farther, seek out a short path venturing south of the falls. Take this trail to rewarding views south down the coast. Additionally, 2 miles to the north is the 1.5-mile Partington Cove Trail, which visits a small beach and a tunnel-accessed cove. Dogs and bikes are not allowed. If you park along Highway 1, no fee or permit is required to visit McWay Falls, so get out and enjoy. McWay Falls photographs much better in the afternoons, with the sunlight falling on the waterfall and the cliffs behind. Golden hour and sunset are great because the waterfall is in the light and the cliffs turn to gold.
Although you can see McWay Falls from the side of California Highway 1, vegetation blocks your view. For the best photos, walk the trail to the overlook. Watercolors are the best on a clear, bright day. On such days, you can clearly tell the difference between the turquoise waters of the cove and the blue waters of the open ocean. While light wisps of fog can augment the setting, you will want to aim for a day and time when the marine layer is not obscuring the views too much. The waterfall looks like a thin ribbon from the overlook, so clarity is crucial.